Daddy, can you put on Skitbags Radio?
No, go to bed.
Okay, yeah, that's the promo.
Yeah. Hello out there in the universe. Welcome to Skitbags Radio. What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
There it is. Yo, this is Sailor Dev coming at you live from Dash Radio. And across from me, I got my esteemed co-host with me. Say what up, Neil.
Just a cheer.
Boom, there it goes.
There you go.
Neil the God.
And we're just going to go ahead and make the rounds. So we'll jet on down to our video DJ over there. The lovely, the wonderful, the powerful Miss Chandara Hang.
Oh, hi, I'm Chandara Hang.
And
that's it.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you for playing DJ, girl. Appreciate it. Next in the lineup, of course, the fluorescent or the floral today, the royal, the regal, anything straight out of Wakanda, motherfucking coming at you hard, Mr. C the Enforcer. What up, Carl?
What the deal? Yo, Poppy calling, aka Antonio Badass. With the rose in my head, killing it. You know what I mean? Skitbags fan.
Antonio Badass.
Oh, yeah.
Antonio, you come up with a different fucking nickname every week, and I love it, man. We're gonna make a children's book of all these nicknames we got for you. I swear.
Hell yeah. I gotta get my street cred up.
And coming back through for the second time this year, we got our Skitbags fam in the house. Say what up, James.
What's up, guys? It's Antonio Badass here. No, I'm just kidding. What's up? It's James White Scott. And here we go.
And bringing us home, Nick. What up, Nick? I don't know. How do you want to drop your name, brother? I didn't know to call you by your rap name, Rap God, or
They call me Rap God. I'm the god of the rap. Nick Fazikis. Booda boodap.
Well done. Well done.
The Hungarian King.
There you go.
They call me.
Well, today we got the fam in the house, so we're going to keep it casual. We're going to talk updates in the entertainment industry. We're going to see what's going on in the world. There's a bunch of crazy shit that's happening, good and bad. But before we get to that, we start out every episode with a breakdown of a movie or TV show, but we're going to do things a little different today. Today, we're going to talk about a decade worth of stuff. So we're going to go through our favorite 90s movies and TV shows. So each one of us is going to give our 2 cents, and we're going to hash it out and see who's right and who's wrong, which is pretty subjective. So nobody's going to be right and nobody's going to be wrong.
We're gonna see, we're gonna see who's right, who has the best answer for this. 'Cause there is only one good answer for this.
Really?
Answer. Yeah, so.
Oh, well, on that note, Mr. Life of Neil the Great, what is your answer, good sir?
No. I'm still thinking. This is a hard choice. I want to get it right.
Well, top film of the 90s. I mean, the 90s were such a big transitional period for film and TV because you got to think that's when we went from film to digital. So, and it's also when CGI came into the mix. Really. I mean, it did a little bit in the 80s, but mostly 80s was more green screen and like puppets and miniatures and stuff. Whereas actual CGI, I think the first real CGI thing was like Jurassic Park, right?
Or something.
It was. I remember, I watched a documentary about Steven Spielberg, and he talked about like going to a computer programmer's office, and this computer programmer put up these dinosaurs, in front of something, and that was basically boom. That's what they claim. I don't know. I mean, who knows? That could have been just like a legend, but that's what they say. They say that he basically greenlit the first CGI for a big film. You know what I mean?
Well, visionary. What can you say? Steven Spielberg, what the fuck does he know? Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Movies, TV? I mean, I got my preferences, but, I want to hear from you guys. I'll have some of this shit out. What do you remember growing up in childhood?
Well, in terms of like a movie in the 90s, Die Hard is in the 90s, right? Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah, that's
Close the book. But that's my favorite movie.
That's
Gladiator, Top Gun.
Well, I think Sean, I think Top Gun was 80s and Gladiator was 2000s.
Oh,
but
Gladiator's 2000, no way.
Right, but put them together, you get the 90s.
Yeah, there you go.
Braveheart, that's what I meant.
There you go, Braveheart.
Braveheart.
That is a mix between Top Gun and Gladiator.
Yes.
Thank you, James. Thank you.
Holy shit, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of movies during the era. That whole Braveheart, The Postman, Dances with Wolves. There was a whole era of about those 3-hour movies that was going on in the 90s with like
Yeah,
4 or 5 different actors.
Well, if you didn't notice, Die Hard broke that mold. They were like, you know what, we're going in and out, 90 minutes, 100 minutes tops. We're gonna fucking make you wet your pants and enjoy yourself at the same time, and that's what they did.
And
was Bad Boys in the 90s?
yes, the first one. Yeah, for sure.
Plot twist.
Bad Boys, but here's the thing that Die Hard did that Bad Boys didn't is Die Hard was rated R. And if you go back and watch Die Hard now, first of all, it's action, but it's also funny. It's really pretty humorous with all those lines. And then the amount of times he says fuck in that movie blows my mind. And, you know, they were like, oh, wasn't this, you know, almost PG-13 or something?
Hell yeah.
The 90s, good old 90s, different age.
Man, speaking of Bad Boys, what about 1990s Michael Bay? Like, Michael Bay I felt like it was totally different Michael Bay back in those days.
He was an actual filmmaker.
Yeah.
He didn't have all that CGI
Time
shit
out.
to rely
Rewind.
on.
Hold on.
You know?
Die Hard is PG-13.
No, but it was almost. And I think they started to make, here's the thing in the franchise, they started to try to make it PG-13 so it would appeal to the studios. Like some of the reboots, like not 2 or 3, but like when they did 4 and 5, I think 1, if not 2 of those are both of them are PG-13.
I think the more recent one has been like 9 PG-13. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Right, right. But back then they were all R because he's like, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. And then the studio's like, well, if you want to do this, you can only say fuck like once. And then it's PG-13.
Yeah.
PG-13 is one fuck, right?
Yeah.
You can do one.
Nowadays. Wasn't back then.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking you couldn't really. I'm gonna bring that scene of him walking barefoot on the broken glass to light without that rated R rating. I needed him like,
Yeah.
That makes me cringe every time.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Or when he's squeezing through the air ducts and he says, now I know what a microwave dinner feels like.
Well, one of my favorite things about the film is one of my favorite genres. It's like I don't know if you would consider this a genre in a film, but I love movies that are contained within like one day. That happen within like a good like
Same.
12-hour set. Like that's how Die Hard is. He shows up in the plane, you know what I mean, in the limousine. He's all fucking mad about Christmas and shit, and then like he shows up, that everything that happens is within like 8 hours, right? Because it's like that same night and shit. Yeah.
Dude, wasn't Blank Check one day? Blank Check was one of arguably the best 90s movies ever made, man. That kid.
Wait, is that the Nick Cannon movie?
No. Blank Check. This kid gets like a.
It was
like
Macaulay Culkin. No, that was.
It was like Macaulay Culkin's runner-up. Like, like this
Walmart
guy.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, this guy was trying to make it big. Like I remember the poster vividly. It's him with a backpack and a bigger picture of him with like over his shoulder, like with his sunglasses down. Like.
Yeah, like all 90s movies.
Okay, I remember that poster.
What about, speaking of comedies, like there's a lot of great original stories in the 90s where like now is a lot of reboots, there's a lot of book films, comic book films, shit like that, but in the 90s it was like original scripts. So you got like Ace Ventura. And like that set the tone for like Jim Carrey's early career. I mean, after that, what was it? The Mask, Ace Ventura 2, Liar Liar. Like all of that shit was in the 90s, and every one of those was original.
The 90s. Huh? Okay, so yeah. Jim Carrey wins my comedy award for top 90s comedy films.
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh man, I could watch Ace Ventura 100,000 times.
He had a hand in
time
writing that. So he was one of the writers, and honestly, in his character, I was watching like a behind the scenes, he was explaining how he came up with Ace Ventura, and he goes, well, I modeled him after animals. Because he's like, think about it, we're like bright, he goes, I modeled him after a toucan. It's a specific animal. So he like has bright feathers or like a bright Hawaiian shirt, colors, and when he walks with his head, so he's like...
The head jerk, the bird head jerk. Yeah.
So it's like a bird, and he's
this
just like...
It's clean.
He's like eating peanuts and letting them go out of his mouth, like... You know, like all that shit. And that just shows you like, okay, everyone thought this was silly comedy, you know, stupid when you saw it, but talking out of his ass. But at the end of the day, he's like, oh, I actually put in some work with this.
Dude,
you know?
I think Jim Carrey was trying to tell us back then, like, what's going to happen now with him. Like, you know what I mean? I really do, man. He was warning us. Like, he did the movie where he puts on a mask and becomes a whole different person. Yeah. He did the movie where he's like the detective who's sort of androgynous and crazy. And then he did all
stalker.
The
Truman Show,
the Truman Show, Liar Liar, all these movies about like having to tell the truth on Liar Liar. You know, the Truman Show.
He was God.
Yeah, or
I think he just unconsciously tapped into something and ran with it, and now because now he's like guru status trying, which shout out Jim Carrey, I love you, bro.
Yeah, me too, man.
Well, what I used to love about his films and what he did in the 90s is that most of his earlier films, they came with a hook. Most of these movies that come out now, they don't really have a hook in the story. For instance, I mean, in Liar Liar, the hook is he's a lawyer, but what can he do? He can't lie, So that's like the running hook of the film. Like, I don't care who you actually would put in. Like, of course, Jim Carrey did a great job. Yeah. That's a film you can really put in anyone in that shit. Yeah. They can just fucking hold their shit together. Yeah. If the hook runs the movie for you, you know. Yeah. Same thing with another movie that he did, Bruce Almighty, right? The hook is that like he becomes God, like it's like movies with with a hook. Yeah. Whereas right now, a lot of the comedies that come out are like kind of like character driven or like situational driven, rather than like something that's happened to someone and they're like, oh, now they gotta fucking like deal with it.
Bro, I think it was like Meet the Fockers, right? Where that shit's or the first one wasn't. What was it?
Meet the Parents. So now they've started making the situations uncomfortable. Cause like Meet the Parents is one of those films that I call like it's a hard to watch movie. Well, it's hard to watch Ben Stiller go through all this shit that fucking happens to him. It's like a slow burn. You're like, oh my god, this shit's gonna fuck up for him badly.
What about we forgot a good one towards the end of the 90s? Speaking of Ben Stiller, Zoolander.
Classic. Yeah,
fucking original 90s content. It's like 98 or something, but I think. I mean, maybe it was early 2000s. But anyways, original screenplays, and that's what back to that. Yeah. What do you guys think? I had a question for one of you, but I'll save it. But what do you guys think of TV shows first?
I have to say Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, man. Because for me, like, I watched a lot of 90s TV, of course. I grew up in the 90s right when they were, like, showing all those shows again, So Cosby Show, Full House, I watched all that. But Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was, like, my whole life, man. When he wore that inside jacket, inside out to school, like, I started doing that and shit because of him. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was, that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for me was definitely my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one. Sure.
Everyone knew that song too.
Yeah,
like that's the
everyone
thing.
Still knows the song.
Yeah,
and the full version too.
Yes.
Something. Yeah,
they play it in clubs. They play it in clubs at the end of the night.
Yep.
And whatnot. The whole crowd does it. I remember the 90s. I think because that's when Fox first really came up, and they had that whole In Living Color series, and they had that whole segment of shows that were back to back and whatnot. That was kind of starting that kind of urban thing when Fox wasn't shit. And whatnot. And that was like, to me, especially being, African American, that was like the greatest TV in the world because we really didn't have, sitcoms. But, we had Saturday Night Live, but we didn't have like a black Saturday Night Live.
Well, except for like, back in New York, it's Channel 9, WWOR. Like Channel 9 were like.
Well, you got the local.
What do you mean?
Shit.
You had. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Like what you know about Homeboys from Outer Space? Like you remember that shit?
Wait a minute. But you guys forgot. You forgot about Martin or the Jamie Foxx show
but that was
Living Colors.
Yeah, but that's Fox.
That was the first Fox, like in Living Color and all that was the first Fox run, and then they started picking up all that. So that's when all that stuff, Martin and all that stuff.
They're all sketch shows.
But before then, it was Channel 9.
Yeah. Fox wasn't shit when they first came out. Fox was like how UPN became later with Moesha and everything. Like Fox is how UPN became later with Moesha.
UPN, that's what UPN is Homeboys from Outer Space. Yeah. They had those shows on and shit.
Which is now the CW?
The CW. Then it became the CW. It's been three versions. Like Fox was the original, and then it was UPN. Then it was
Mr.
CW.
Rogers is PBS.
Oh yeah.
What about we forgot about? I was bringing this up earlier, thinking about Simpsons, man. First animated, longest running animated show.
They just hit their 666 episode or something like that. Yeah, man.
The world's ending. What about you guys think of Simpsons predicting the future? You see all these theories?
Oh yeah.
That shit's crazy.
Almost all television and movies predict the future if you watch.
Agreed.
Them
Agreed.
Well, because you got 666 episodes, you're bound to get some shit right.
Exactly.
Right. I was gonna ask you, James. We were talking earlier about Saved by the Bell.
Oh, before we go there, can we get some favorite Simpsons episodes? No?
Oh, yes.
Oh, when Bart had the elephant named Stampy. That was my shit.
All Treehouse of Horrors were my
Yes.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the Halloween joints.
Yeah, the one, oh my God, actually, the Halloween one where their skin turned inside out at the end.
The gas.
Legit, like, it scared the shit out of me, dude. I was like, oh my God, what if that actually happened?
the all work no play makes Homer really bad.
Oh yeah, The Shining when they did that with The Shining.
Yeah.
All work no TV makes Homer crazy.
Oh, we call
No TV.
I don't know which
No
episode.
beer, no TV makes Homer go crazy. That's what.
I don't know what episode this was. I just know I remember there was one where like he has Mojo, the monkey. It's like this little pet monkey and whatnot. And then he's like, just look how happy Mojo is. And Mojo's like talking in Chimp, and the subtitles go, "Pray for Mojo." And then the other episode I loved was Who Shot Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Classic.
Oh, dude, that was the most legit
Classic.
shit ever. Everyone like all summer people were like, "Who the fuck?
Who the fuck
Who
shot?
the fuck happened?"
Yeah.
That was before
classic.
the DVR.
Yeah,
they-
you had to watch that shit live.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you missed it. Oh.
Well, you're never gonna know who shot Mr. Burns because we're never gonna tell you.
Yeah, wait, and wasn't it Maggie?
Yeah, it was Maggie. He took her lollipop.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. That was funny. What was that the same episode where Mr. Burns was like the radioactive ghost in the woods? Do you
No.
remember that?
No,
Is
that was
different
another
one?
time. That was he's
It was
extending his
connected
life.
though.
And they're
wasn't it?
yeah,
I think they were all connected.
Hold on, no, I think because
No.
it's a 2-part episode.
right.
So
I
that
thought
could
he was like on drugs, wandering, sleepwalking, or something. Maybe that was the one Homer was hunting for ghosts.
No, you're right. 'Cause what may have happened was to start the episode, he's like in the hospital, and so people who were like suspects were like seeing him like in his dreams. He was like you understand, Simpsons was like giving us clues in these episodes. They were like trying to tell us who did it and everything. So it was very well done. And I just remember the episode starts out with Mr. Burns wanting to block out the fucking sun.
Yes.
He wants to get all the fucking power, and he actually does it.
Yep, he does.
Remember, and then that's when it was the creepiest ending to the episode ever because he's like walking down the street all hyped that he got the shit done, and everyone's like, isn't this strange? Mr. Seymour Skinner should be in his office, but he's gone. And then like next scene is Mr. Burns is tripping and it's like, this is strange. Homer Simpson should be in his office, but he's not. And so they just gave you like 20 suspects that were not where they should be.
Yeah.
And then it was like someone was like, remember the homie with one arm? Who was like the janitor? He was like, he should be here. And then we see like his box of bullets and one bullet like falls out the box. We're like, what's happening? And Mr. Burns is like, I see who you are. You're laughing at me, aren't you? Well, I got what you want. No, you have what I want. But he's talking to Maggie. That's who we find out later. Oh, those are good episodes.
I loved Mr. Burns where he was always like you could never tell if he was like 200 years old or like 1,000.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, he's eternal. That's what the whole medicine thing is about. They got to rejuvenate him and bring him back to life. Shit. I fuck with Mr. Burns.
Yeah,
man.
Mr.
That's
Burns is
my boy,
cool.
man.
Yeah, he was good.
Excellent.
There's one episode where Mr. Burns is like gives like Fidel Castro the $1 million bill.
Yeah.
And Fidel Castro,
He's like, what $1 million?
Yeah. Fidel Castro was like, oh, can I see that? And Mr. Burns is like, here. And he goes, can I get it back? And Fidel's like, what $1 million bill? Yeah. And then Mr. Burns goes, oh.
I think that's what he went. Did he go broke that episode and Lisa was helping him to get his like money back or something?
Lisa's always
And
helping.
whatnot. Oh, Lisa, she had the dope Michael Jackson episode with the fat white Michael Jackson dude. That was classic.
I was just thinking what was it? Bleeding Gums Murphy, right?
Oh yeah,
Wasn't that
but
his name?
that's he taught her how to play.
The sax player.
Michael Jackson did was the one where they had Happy Birthday, Lisa.
Lisa, it's your birthday.
That was the shit. That was the shit.
Oh my
What about character out of the whole Simpsons universe? Who's your favorite?
Damn.
Oh,
Because that's hard.
I like Budman.
About the lady.
Duffman.
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 I am Duffman.
Nobody parties without Duffman.
I would say Barney, because he goes from the ultimate drunk to this excellent singer to this actual super smart neuroscience. Like he like covers all levels of characterism. Like everybody else has been one motherfucker the whole show, but Barney has gone from multiple levels. He's been rich, he's been poor,
Yeah, man.
he's been
He
the
married
man.
Lisa.
He owns
Smart,
his own
dumb.
business. He owns his own business. When people, you can trash Barney until the snow comes around, and you're gonna need Mr. Barney snowplow.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? That's what
Another
Mr.
classic episode.
And he's
Mr.
wasted
Plow.
when he drives it. He's wasted, but he'll get the snow out of there.
Oh, the name is Mr. Plow. That's the name is Mr. Plow.
Oh, good shit.
Mr. Burns has got to be right up there. With one of those. I don't know who mine. I don't know if I could narrow it. I would say maybe Burns. Moe's really fucking funny.
Yes.
Mo.
Sizzlack.
Krusty
I
is
gotta say
like
Mo.
Mo's pretty good.
Krusty goes through some arcs too, along with Sideshow Bob, man.
Yes.
That's a classic kind of just situation for the whole show. That whole Sideshow Bob over the years, in and out of jail, switching back, coming back, wanting Bart dead, and just that whole I couldn't wait to see that shit show back up later.
You
know what
remember?
I mean?
You remember? I've grown accustomed to your face. When Sideshow Bob was like, wasn't that Curry? Wasn't that I almost said Steph Curry. Tim Curry. Wasn't that Tim Curry who did Sideshow Bob back in the day? It was so good.
I also like Lisa's like really stupid classmate. He was like, hey, Lisa, I like you.
Ralph.
Ralph Wiggum.
Ralph.
It smells like burning.
Every line that kid says is classic.
Wiggum's son.
I always really enjoyed the future episodes that they always had as well. So like where you see them where they're like older and shit, like
yeah,
Bart's
like
a fucking
grown up.
drunk
Yes.
and like Lisa's a lawyer or a fucking politician. Or
You remember
something.
Yeah,
like
it's
Maggie's
president.
like Maggie's like a fucking punker.
Yeah,
She's like a rocker, like beats people up and shit, which is dope.
Yeah, and they keep avoiding her talking the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, Maggie, shut up.
Oh, really?
here's
I never saw the episode. They avoid him from talking.
So every time she goes to say something, I'm like, Maggie, shut up. I don't hear what you got to say. She's just like,
You guys remember the one where he gets it's where the gummy bear stuck to like his babysitter's.
It's the Venus de Milo episode.
And he like pulls it off of her to eat the gummy bear. And he gets like sexual harassment on him or something like
and
that.
they like re-edit the interview. So he's all like, Mr. Homer, please
yeah,
calm
he's, like,
yourself. He
trolling
goes,
and
so Mr. Homer, what happened when you saw the gummy on her backside? Ooh, I wanted that sweet candy. I want a sweet candy. He goes, Mr. Simpson, please control yourself. And he's drooling, and like he's not even moving. Just a zoom in of the shot. It's just like, and it's like, and it says, please stand by. And Homer's like, that's not how the interview went at all.
Dude, but the grown up episode did well. Like, there were other 90s. Well, I guess we won't talk much about cartoons, but a lot of cartoons tried to do that shit back in the day, where they would have them all grown up, and it was always just creepy.
90s fucking cartoons are the most fucked up thing when you go back and watch them. Like, imagine my prime example I always come back to, and I love this show, but it's fucked up, is Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy is like ingrown hairs on a fucking rat's ass, or close up animated stuff. So it's like, I don't know. It's just very
that was
vibrant,
the beginning
vulgar.
of like that sick comedy. You know what I mean? That kind of vulgar.
No, well, the thing is,
comedy.
like with Ren and Stimpy, like it never really got gross until they gave us like those extreme close-ups of shit.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah,
But it was
like,
always creepy as fuck.
yeah, it was like
you know,
their eyes like with like gunk coming out of it, and they're like,
Like it's like a
turned
Tom and
into
Jerry.
something crazy though, didn't they? Didn't they get bought out by somebody or do new ones, and then they started becoming like some weird shit? Like
What
they
happened?
started- Ren and Stimpy. I don't know. You told me the story of it. Like it was like there was a point in time where they redid Ren and Stimpy. Like I don't know. I could be wrong, but like if you see not the newer, but the newest episodes, which aren't new anymore, but they are way fucked up. Like even more fucked up than you can think of what the past episodes are like.
there was
Wait
an
a minute.
episode. What was the one where Stimpy is in like a conveyor belt getting like his ass pounded by a bunch of like just like
I want to say
Right.
this, and I could be wrong. We got to fact check this, but I want to say I read an article like a month or two ago that was the creator or one of the creators of Ren and Stimpy. It was either Ren and Stimpy or it was another 90s cartoon series. But he said just got a bunch of allegations for like sexual harassment with minors and shit on set.
Damn.
And, like
On
in the
set?
not on set, but like in the production
I'm about to say,
studio
in a
or
car.
whatever.
come to my
like-
trailer.
I'm about to say he got that R. Kelly shit. He's like, wait, why we got 7 kids here? It's a cartoon, motherfucker. It's
Fucking
They're
crazy
doing
times.
background. They're doing background.
It's a group study.
And it's so crazy. That doesn't surprise any of us anymore. It's like fucking A, Hollywood.
Now, I would say Ren and Stimpy is the reason why things like South Park got to exist. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I think they kind
True.
of cracked them all, that whole liquid TV era and whatnot with Eon Flux and all those kind of really weird shows from the MTV era. And that whole group, that whole phase right there with that really weird kind of adult nighttime. it really opened up for your harsher shows like Family Guy and South Park and stuff like that to kind of cross over.
Bro.
It's almost a family kind of situation.
Yeah, like if you go back to Rocco's Modern Life.
I love Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco, well, is it okay if we talk about the cartoons?
Yeah.
Okay. Rocco was a sex phone worker who went with his like insane cow friend
Heifer.
to the
That's
Chokey's
right.
to the Chokey's Chicken. It was what they would hang out at. Yeah, his name was Heifer. And then they had like, bro, he was a sex phone worker though.
Oh,
like,
he's a sex phone
yeah,
worker?
yeah. In one episode, they show him what his job finally, like what Rocco does, and he's a sex phone worker. He's the voice you call in the 999.
With the Australian voice, you call. One not dying.
mate. What do you want me to do to you?
But then you had like shows also like Doug. Doug was dope, but
Yeah.
Doug was very more like even keeled and like just kind
Doug
of
was
more
hip.
Nickelodeon.
Dude, I like Rugrats myself. Like,
Fuck yeah.
Rugrats.
Yeah, Rugrats.
Because you got to see like things from like a baby's like perspective. Like to them, it was like so serious. It was so real. It was like, yo, dude, like me, I get the fuck out. Someone had the screwdriver, fucking popping the screwdriver off the fucking shit, and they had like their own world. And then we saw it from the parents' perspective, and then they're just like, what the fuck are these kids doing? Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and they would never see all the details. So it's like how like to the extent that they were getting their missions done. I loved Rugrats.
Speaking of Nickelodeon, did any of y'all watch Are You Afraid of the Dark when you were younger?
Of course.
That
Yes.
was my shit.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
and
shit.
even all that.
The episode on Are You Afraid of the Dark where the kids looked into a flame, an open flame for too long, and the flame man came. You guys remember that?
What? No.
I didn't look into an open flame for a few years after this shit
Whoa, what
because so if you're not supposed to look directly into a fire for like too long, or this like fire dude comes and burns all your shit.
Oh shit.
Really?
It was scary to me.
Sounds dope.
It was.
What do you call it?
Sounds dope.
It's like Candyman, Nickelodeon style.
Little known
Kanye
fact,
track.
but that's how what's his face M. Night Shyamalan got the idea for The Sixth Sense. It's from an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh man.
Wow.
If you look it up, there's an episode in which, and I forget what episode it is, but there's an episode.
It's the one where the kid's like, I'm cold. There's like this little kid that died in a little drainage ditch because he didn't have his jacket. Did you ever see that one?
No. Yeah. There is one. Yeah, it's the one where the kid dies, but he doesn't know that he's dead. He doesn't know that he's dead until like the end of the episode, you know, and it's just like, yeah, it's just like Sixth Sense. Yeah.
But Are You Afraid of the Dark was good, but I tried to go back and watch Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
What in the actual fuck were we watching, dude? I watched an episode of Goosebumps the other day, and it was like an acid trip. Like, we were watching it, bro. It went from this kid was going to like a piano practice with this girl who he kind of has a crush on, maybe, but also her father got murdered or something. I don't know. And then they get there, and this old ghost janitor is like being controlled by his ghost mother, and she's like, "You're not clean, Henry." And it's like this weird, total acid trip.
Dude,
You gotta
what?
go back and watch an episode of Goosebumps if you can make it all the way
I
through.
used to have all the books. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was the only book I would get on Scholastic.
Me too,
Book
man.
Day.
The book fair.
Book fair.
I wonder if they're worth anything now.
Hold on.
When the reboot comes out, probably.
What drew me in was the fucking like the cover. I can touch the
Yeah,
letters.
it was.
You remember
it
the
had
blob?
texture.
Yeah,
You
that
remember
was
the
it.
blob, the guy where you
Yeah, and like I remember episodes were like the one with like you're a bee, like his head was a big bee, and then I remember there was one with the ventriloquist dummy.
Yes.
I remember that
That
one.
was the scariest. The Night of the Living Dummy was
Yeah.
the scariest
And
one.
but the
book too.
what I loved about Goosebumps was, I don't know if it was like scary, it was just creepy one, but every episode ended with like some kind of twist where like the main person died,
like
or, like something happened wrong.
but a twist. I watch an episode now. There's like 5 twists. That's the thing, man. We were getting twisted all over the fucking place watching these things.
it was like a safer version of Tales from the Crypt, you know, like Tales from the Crypt.
Speaking of Tales from the Crypt, is I heard M. Night Shyamalan was redoing it.
No fucking way. That's
Tales from the
true.
Crypt?
That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
that's true.
I'm pretty sure that is a
Either
real
him-
thing. I got to fact check though. but
If I
it's-
could watch that
it's
shit
either,
every,
it's either him or Guillermo del
That's
Toro.
what I was gonna say.
It's
That's the
either
only
one of
other
them.
dude could
One
do
of
it.
Them two are doing the reboot.
Well-
from what I hear, I don't know. It could have been bullshit.
because
but
the thing is with Tales from the Crypt, they also ended with fucked up twists too.
Oh,
and,
that was
and,
the
and,
shit.
and if M. Night Shyamalan was gonna be in the head of that, then I was all aboard, for those kind of fucking endings. But yeah, like I fucked with Tales from the Crypt too. Like even the fucking movies.
As a kid, I was just obsessed with the host. And
The Crypt Keeper was the shit. That was my good shit.
Oh man, best
my dude.
one-liners, best comedian on
Yes,
TV at the time.
yes,
in my
yeah,
mind.
joke.
He'd be
As soon
like,
as somebody dies, like, I guess he didn't want to lose his head. It's just like, and they start laughing.
Tales from the Crypt.
That was the shit.
I don't there's no significant, maybe my mind is just blank, but there's no significant horror movie from the 90s that stands out. I feel like it's 80s and modern 2000s.
Scream.
Scream.
I guess 98, yeah.
Scream 1. See, before
Scream
they,
1.
before they started
Candyman was in the
fucking it up,
90s.
Scream 1 is real.
What?
Candyman was in the 90s.
Oh shit, I don't remember
Candyman's
that.
classic.
When was Sixth Sense?
99.
Yeah.
That's in there.
My favorite
But I don't
horror
put-
movies in the
That's
Mouth
not really
of
hard.
Madness.
That's
I don't
kind of
know how-
like drama weird.
Actually, no. I put that just a straight up scary movie. You know what I
Bro,
mean? It's
the
not a
Sixth
horror
Sense,
movie.
Donnie Wahlberg in his first big role.
Yeah, he's the guy in the beginning, right?
He was the crazy guy.
In the beginning. Okay. Yeah, for sure. What I love about the M. Night Shyamalan movies is just that is a way for like the scene to keep on going, like with like that one shot, and like people like leave the frame and come back. You know what I mean? You're like, what the fuck am I not seeing? You'll hear something like I love M. Night Shyamalan movies. That new fucking. What's the person? I think it's coming out this summer. It's
Glass.
the guy from Unbreakable versus the guy from last year.
Split. It's all of those guys. It's Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, and the dude from
Split.
Split.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be great. Yeah, 'cause all the sequels.
Dude, he created like his own superhero universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's insane.
At the last second of the last movie too. At the last second too, he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way."
And at the last second of his career. Let's be honest, bro. He turned it around with Split. Let's be honest. Like, he had come out with some shit that was like, okay, so maybe he was the thing that was cool for a while, and he's gone.
Like, it went from him like putting like his name on the title of every movie to now like, don't even put my name in this shit. Like tell niggas afterwards. Like, okay, tell these guys after they liked it. I made this shit. Like, no, but back to Tales from the Crypt. They made two ridiculously creepy movies out of their franchises. One is called I think it's Devil's Night.
Demon Night.
Demon Night.
And Bordello of Blood. Yeah.
Oh my god. I think Bordello of Blood has like Miller. Dennis Miller.
Yeah.
Oh dude, like
And
those
it
movies
has
are
that,
like dark as
bomb
shit.
redheaded chick. Oh my god, bro.
But don't they like turn into like demons and like kill you?
yeah, it's a bordello of blood. It's a whorehouse of blood. And it's Corey Feldman. Like he gets like he goes there and gets fucked up, and then like he ends up getting taken, and then like his sister, the whole movie's his sister, trying to get him back with Dennis Miller.
Isn't that how Corey Feldman died in real life?
Right?
Well, you just reminded me of something. When you said that bomb ass redhead, my brain went, "Oh shit, we forgot to include Who Framed Roger Rabbit."
Oh
Yes.
Is that 90s?
It's gotta be.
Hey,
yeah.
you know what?
Yeah, that's not
Cool
right.
World
I
too.
think 88. Cool World.
Oh well,
Cool
maybe.
Cool World.
I think Cool World
the
was
Cruel
Cool
World.
90s?
Yeah, but Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Man, she
that was
played
my
patty
shit.
cake with somebody else.
Dude,
She's gone.
trivia.
She's dead to me.
What is that poison that kills all cartoons in that movie? What's
basically like
the dip.
acid, wasn't it?
Dip.
Dip. Yeah.
Whenever I go, for my entire
Christopher
life,
Lloyd, man.
whenever I'm on the street and I see a big yellow sign that says like dip, I always think of that fucking Christopher Lloyd shit.
While we're in here, in the space of real meets cartoon, fucking Space Jam.
Oh yeah, that was 90s too. Damn.
was fantastic.
Space Jam changed my whole life, man.
I love how like I hope there's a bunch of millennials out there under 25. They're like, what the fuck are these dudes talking about?
Go watch them. Go watch them.
You gotta go do your research, yo.
Well, I remember the penalty for Jordan like losing was they had like the cartoon. It was like a cartoon like animation of like their plans for Jordan, and it's him like chained to a basketball hoop, and he can't touch the ball. But the people that are playing against him can, and they're just scoring on him. And he can't do anything.
Bro, I just remember Lola Bunny, right? Am I right? Am I right? You know what I'm saying?
But it's us. See, this is why the 90s fucked us up because we're like, yo, Jessica Rabbit. Rabbit, yo. Those are bite, yo.
Jessica Rabbit's a whole other story.
Give it.
That's a whole other class.
I still understand why Elmer Fudd steady kept falling for when Bugs Bunny dressed like a broad. He had big lips, he had big old titties, and his hips was nice. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, I would take if it came between Jessica Rabbit and Cool World's. Who was it?
Kim Basinger.
Kim Basinger. I would take Cool World's Kim Basinger over.
And that was the first time somebody had sex with a cartoon on film.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's right.
Didn't she become human after the sex?
Yeah, that super nut he bust up
his
in there. That's right.
His sperm turned her into a real boy, just like my uncle did.
Fucking. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, we totally forgot. Speaking of sex and cartoons, what about Disney? Yo, Aladdin, fucking Lion King. You know, all the night. You know, fucking giant
When
dick in the
Disney was
stars
good.
on Lion King.
Yeah.
All the subliminal shit that we grew up with as kids.
What are like
Got
low-key,
action.
like movies came out in the 90s at Disney?
Dude, like,
Hercules?
but if you think Hercules, Lion King, Aladdin, Peter Pan. No,
they
Peter
had
Pan
they had
was.
a pretty good run in the 90s.
Yeah, and then let's see, man, but
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast,
I
Cinderella. No, that was an old one too.
Little Mermaid.
Some of these are old.
I need to check one thing. Hold on.
Beauty and the Beast is old, right? But
they
it got
remade 'em. They
remastered.
It might
Yeah,
be. It might be
yeah.
80s. That might be 70s or
Beauty
80s.
and the Beast isn't old, but Cinderella is, Snow White is.
Yes.
Sleeping Beauty is.
Oh, and it just makes it. Fucking one of my favorite movies from Disney at the time is DuckTales the movie. Treasure of the Lost Lamp.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
It was, like you think that came straight to DVD. Nah, motherfuckers. That shit was in the theaters, filking big billboards in fucking '9.
Dude, the whole DuckTales universe, man.
Yeah,
all of
You
it.
know,
that was my
all of
cartoon
it.
right there.
The last you said it just made it when it just popped in my
was
head
1990.
too. Well, so it was early just made it. Well, I was thinking late just made it, 1999. And actually, this is one of, if like I would say, close to being the top my favorite movie from the 90s, just because it's so significant following its career. Matrix.
Oh,
yes.
hell yeah.
Dude, The Matrix changed the fucking game in storytelling and action movies, like across the board. And it was such a metaphor for shit going on in the real world. Like, shout out to the Wachowskis, because they're fucking dope, man. I don't, like, good job.
Wachowski sisters.
Yeah.
Whatever they choose to be right now.
See, I always say the Wachowski brothers made the Matrix.
Well, they did
Right?
make, at that time, yeah, it was the brothers. But, I don't give a fuck. Whatever they want to be.
Hey, live your
Whatever.
bliss, man. Just keep making the Matrix. I don't care.
Well, it's an all-time great movie when it actually has people walking around in the street using it as a common reference for how they see their day. You know what I mean? Like people like, yo, we really do live in the Matrix. We really are like this. We really are kind of getting fed off by rich people or something like batteries and
Take the
so
red
forth and
pill.
so on and all that. And it's rare that you get a movie that comes out and the motherfuckers leave and they go to work the next day and they're looking around at work like, yo, we in the Matrix, yo, right now, like.
Oh, the rabbit.
And that's and it was nothing but an action movie, but it was so impactful. And I think that's the reason why I think a lot of artists make music, make films, make everything they make. I think low-key you kind of want to poison the mind a little bit with this message, you know what I mean? This undercover message that you want to get out to the world, like, save yourselves. You know what I mean?
It's also like it's layers. I think that makes storytelling way more valuable, is by layering your content and hiding those Easter eggs and subliminal things. Like, for example, in The Matrix, the name of the ship was the Nebuchadnezzar. Do you guys know where that comes from?
The Bible.
Yes, Nebuchadnezzar was a king in the Old Testament, and Nebuchadnezzar had a dream. And this is a story. And his dream was he saw this statue, and the base was made of clay, the midsection was bronze, the torso was steel, and the head was gold. And it was representative of like human evolution throughout the clay age, the stone age, the bronze age, the steel age, and like the Enlightenment Gold Age. And his vision was a meteor came down and hit the base of the statue, making the whole thing crumble. So he spent like years, like decades, just fucking like slaughtering people, trying to figure out what this dream meant. And that is like a metaphor for like us becoming too big and going
Right.
through all this, and that nature,
Capitalism, yeah.
all that shit. But this was a biblical thing, and the fact that the Wachowskis put that in there as like the name of the ship, like as a metaphor, like Nebuchadnezzar's dream, Morpheus's dream,
And Zion.
is what, that led to Zion being created in the fall of fucking, the machines, the end of the war, and all this shit. It's just, it's just so smart, and that's what I appreciate. Is because you can like not think anything of it. Like I didn't know that when I first watched The Matrix.
No, me neither.
Like I found out about this shit after, and I'm like, wait, I heard about Nebuchadnezzar's dream from somebody else, biblically related, and I'm like, wait a minute, isn't that the name of the ship? And I started Googling it, and I'm like, oh fuck, you guys are on another level.
What was Terminator a 90s?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Terminator?
Oh no, the first one was 80s.
First one was 80s, but then that
Judgment Day.
But the
T2,
real,
right?
but the real joint was 92. The real joint.
The second joint was like the one, because the first one still everybody loved it. Me and my friends used to love it, but the one that like it took off to almost a Matrix-like situation where people left the house, went to work, and it's like, yo,
dude, when I seen
these robots,
when I seen,
you know what I mean?
when I seen, didn't anyone cry when Arnold was going down in the lava?
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
you didn't want him to
Always. And then when he had his motorcycle and he's in the LA River.
Oh god, and the fucking
Yeah.
oh dude.
I want to buy that bike so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I want
That bike, I know what kind it is. I know how much it is. I've just been waiting for a good one to go on sale.
I wanted to be Edward Furlong for like at least 3 years. I was like, oh my god, I gotta get this dirt bike. I gotta get a wig. I gotta somehow fucking get that. I gotta get this look. Somehow, I've got to become Edward Furlong. He was the coolest person of all time.
What was the actress? Who was she? She's like, I think she kind of like went crazy. Or
The mom?
Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, that's right. Never mind. No, yeah.
Did they say she really got into the preparation thing and everything like seriously or something? Which I mean, I agree with the
Very
bitch.
method.
Super method. That was what it was.
I think
She was
she's
super
only
method.
she's in other movies though. I've seen her since. Yeah, I think she's like.
If she unpacks the crazy.
What if every movie you've seen her in, she was a crazy person? And so they're like, look, we know her father was like this really big director and stuff back in the day. So he's like, look, you're gonna keep my daughter in your movies, but she'll just play herself.
The crazy,
She's
she's just gonna play herself.
Right?
I have a question though. Would you guys have taken the pill to go out of the Matrix or just
Hell yeah.
keep back in?
Oh no.
Well, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know we know the outcome.
Right.
So it's like you can't. It's a little hard to make that call because like we already know like this is what's on the other side. But if you were just presented with that decision, I think most of us would probably be like, "Fuck yeah, let's go down this rabbit hole."
Like in real life, I had to see how legit these guys looked. You know, what I mean? I gotta see how their jackets look, the sunglasses.
You want a tour of Nebuchadnezzar,
yeah,
and then you can jack me back
it's
in.
like,
Listen,
it's like you guys didn't get this shit from Ross, right? Like, come on, like, if you guys are super legit about to change my life, I need to see like you guys wearing some designer crap.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right.
he was desperate.
There's
though.
been many times that I've taken many unknown pills from people dressed in sunglasses with techno music's playing in the background. All right,
but
they've all ended up pretty good.
But this sounds like pretty like, you know, how do I say, permanent? You know, the way they make it sound like.
Well,
I gotta make sure I'm
but when
going
you
in and
think
out.
about it, let's be honest. In real life, if somebody came up to you with that shit, you'd be like, number one, hey dude, you're full of fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you motherfucker, you high.
Exactly.
You high. Look, give me the red one so I can see what reality's like, and don't rape me afterwards.
But wait,
You know what I mean?
you guys are forgetting like he had the phone call with Morpheus where Morpheus knew everything going on, and then he had
Yeah.
the thing with the Smith in the interrogation room, and then he got the bug removed.
Yeah. I'm taking it.
Once you get a fucking machine sucked out of your belly button in a fucking backseat of a car, I'm gonna be like, you guys know something I don't.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, I forgot about all that.
What if Morpheus just gave him a roofie and the whole thing was a dream? The whole thing was a dream. Morpheus
Yo,
is
man,
just like,
Morpheus is not Bill Cosby.
He's like, all right, finally, meet us at our headquarters. They go to Morpheus' spot. He's just in the fucking thong. He's like, oh shit, it wore off.
Hey, baby. All right, well, fuck, man. I love the 90s talk, but before we wrap up, I want to fucking, we got some time left, but let's talk what's going on today in the entertainment industry. There's a couple of news updates, with like shows that are coming out, movies that are coming out. I mean, I just saw Adam Sandler and Chris Rock's new flick on Netflix. That was dope. John Mulaney's new stand-up is hilarious out on Netflix. And pause, one more. Ladies and gentlemen, you can all watch The Clapper on Netflix.
I did not know that.
Starring our own fearless leader, Mickey Gooch Jr.
Right.
Ed Helms, Amanda Siegfried, and Tracy Morgan, Russell Peters, Adam Levine, all in it. Check it out. It's hilarious. It's awesome.
That's right. And
Give a
cameo
thumbs
by
up.
Black Jesus.
Yep. Yeah. Fuck. I forgot about that. And Trash.
Yes.
Cameo by Trash, too.
Trash
Shout out
too.
Chris. Trash, what up?
Oh, Carl, isn't the homie from your spot in that new Adam Sandler movie? That's what
Ooh,
James tells me.
Ed Helms.
No,
Ooh.
in the new Adam Sandler Chris Rock joint.
What about it?
There's some light skinned dude used to be that lives in your building. He used to. James knows him. And
Oh
Thally
yeah,
knows him.
yeah. Oh boy, he's like a legitimate. Like he was on he was on Grey's Anatomy
Yeah.
for a season as a side.
He's the
dude.
lead actor.
Yeah.
He's one of the leads.
He's the lead in that movie, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I had James over the other night, and we were watching the trailer for the Chris, whatever.
Yeah.
What's it called? The week of, right?
Yes.
For the week of.
Yeah.
And he was like, he saw him in the trailer. He was like, yo,
shit.
that's the homie.
That's
Like,
homie. Yeah, he lives downstairs.
Dude,
and shit.
He lives like next door to this dude.
Give that man a shout out because he did a great fucking job. I mean, the movie's great. It's one of Adam Sandler's better ones, I think, recently
Really?
with his Netflix deal. Yeah, like it's okay. Let me say this: it's better than the fucking Ridiculous Six.
Yeah.
All right,
You know
like
what was
it's-
good? There was some
the do-over
was good. I thought
the
that
do
one was
it's about
great.
it's just as good as that. Different.
The do-over was good.
I would-
It's a good movie, but I would say the duo. If you're looking, it's more of a dramatic comedy role. I would say more or less because it's about family.
Yeah, it's
But-
serious issues.
But the do-over, now that's my shit.
That's just silly.
That shit is funny.
shit was funny
if you're
as
looking
fuck.
for funny,
And it had like heart to it. I was
like,
like, oh shit.
But it's a good movie.
Yeah, it is
And
good.
again, shout out to Adam Sandler because here at
Yeah.
Dash Radio, they just had an event. Him and his lovely family apparently were here yesterday. So we love you, Adam.
dope.
Congratulations. I think it was something for a holiday or a birthday or some kind of thing
By
like
the
that.
way,
But anyways, yeah, shout out, Adam.
the
Congrats.
Cinco de Mayo.
Adam, if you need your toilet paper back, we grabbed it from the parking lot. So just come and get it. Come on down to the studio if you're listening.
Yeah,
Come
no
get the
biggie.
toilet paper.
So and then next week, Adam's gonna just walk in the door and be like, "Hey guys, I heard you. I'm here for my toilet paper. That's it." Well, what else you guys is seeing this coming out? This going on?
So I'm a little late on this. Yeah, I watched it on Amazon. But have you guys seen Logan Lucky?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I have.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Great,
Is that the one with
great movie.
With
It's,
Channing Tatum?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
and
damn, that movie's great.
So
and
good.
Daniel Craig and
Yeah.
Adam Driver.
Yeah, and Steven Soderbergh,
The dialogue in that movie, the way
Steven
that
Sotomizer directed it.
Sodomizer.
The Ocean's 11. You know.
Yeah, but his name is not Steven Sodomizer.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know what
Agree
this
to
movie
disagree.
is.
Dude,
What is this about?
Oh, dude, it's Channing Tatum. Have you ever seen you seen Star Wars, right? You know the dude who plays the new like quote unquote Darth Vader? That dude with the black hair?
man.
Yeah, so they're like brothers and they're like kind of like low key like dumb and stupid, but they're smart in a way is like for their level, and they're unlucky. They have the worst fucking luck that you could possibly have. Like
Yeah.
the one.
Well, I don't know about that because of the end.
That's true. Well, they're
no,
called.
you didn't see how it ended?
Yeah.
Ended? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they got
horrible.
away.
No, they don't.
What are you talking about? Channing Tatum's character got away with all the money and buried it and buried each portion. Everybody got their portions.
Who's he talking to at the end of the movie though? Fucking $1 Million Baby. Right? What's your name?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
it's
She's
her.
still after him. She's
Yeah, she's still after him, and, and he's
That's
about to,
right,
and
I
he's about to
forgot.
spill everything. He's about to be, oh, you'll never believe how we got this money.
We need spoiler
Yeah.
alerts for this.
Oh,
Where can
yeah.
we watch this?
But
Huh?
what's that?
Where can I watch this?
Amazon.
Okay,
It's
so,
on
Yeah,
so,
it's on
so
Amazon. It's
basically,
really good.
So
And
basically, it's about these brothers. They have the worst possible luck, like in all their life. But now they're gonna rob the fucking Indy
It's the Indy
500.
500.
yeah.
So the thing is Channing Tatum plays this dude. It's in he plays this dude who works construction as a contractor on the track for the Indy 500. So like he knows all these like tunnels and stuff that they have to dig under to do work, you know. So he knows where the safe is, and that's the whole plot.
And how
So-
they transfer the money in between, like, and the best is how in the movie explains how like these tracks are like cities. Like you can buy an apartment inside of the NASCAR, like inside of the track. So you have like you can watch every race like from your living room and shit, and it'd be like your own living residence.
These fucking stadiums of races hold 500,000 people.
It's crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
that they're way larger than
I
football.
used to live right next to the Texas Motor Speedway, dude. That thing is giant.
Yeah,
Dude, and they have like
Daytona.
their own police department, their own like fucking like
Yeah.
their own like shit.
Really?
yeah,
half a fucking million people coming there for one day.
yeah, NASCAR is one of the biggest sports ever, for sure.
Well,
Well,
but it's a good movie. It's a good like
biggest
heist movie, and
entertainment.
it's
Hey, it's a sport, man. You lose 10 pounds in that car.
hold on.
It's just hot in there.
It's a good heist movie, and everyone has a great accent. Like fucking Daniel Craig, the nigga you've been seeing as James Bond with that British accent all this time, has like a southern fucking accent.
Bro,
This shit is like what?
He goes, now I'm about to get naked. Don't
Yeah.
look at me.
About getting naked.
Yeah, but the whole like arc of the film is I have they're so unlucky, but they do all like these lucky things to finally get this ties, but like I just told you, I would, kind of
Spoilers.
because you could, watch that end again.
Wait, and this on Amazon? Wait, so Amazon, what's that Amazon Prime thing? Like, is it like a Netflix
It's not.
or something?
No, it's a studio movie that is just now available on Amazon. It was out in theaters. It's not like an Amazon original.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it was legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just like a normal studio.
So
I
does it
forget
go
what
to,
studio
like,
did it.
cross genre things? Like, does it go to Netflix too, or is it only going to be on
No,
Amazon?
it's usually when you get deals like that, you go. You could have certain periods of time at each platform, but each deal is constructed to where, like, if Netflix gets your movie, they're not going to pay millions of
want it
dollars for
somewhere
you
else.
to fucking go
Yeah.
live somewhere else too. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why a lot of like TV is on Hulu. So like all like the Tonight Show, all like the NCIs, all like the weekly shit. You can usually watch the full episode next day on Hulu if you got a subscription.
Okay.
Amazon is like Amazon Originals, and then things out on DVD, and then Netflix is like combinations of originals and shit that's already out. So
Okay.
it's kind of just whatever.
I just wanted to bring back up that R. Kelly song that he did for Space Jam. The video was him in the middle of a field with Space Jam being projected onto a billboard behind him for the whole video.
I thought you were gonna say it was him in the middle of a field with 3 girls and a mat.
Holy shit.
Oh, speaking of new stuff that came out or that's available to watch now, Atlanta. Have you guys been watching Atlanta?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh! Shout out to Donald Glover,
Carl-
who last
still hasn't
night.
seen
did you watch his
episode.
new
No, I haven't
video?
seen it.
Yes.
I'm hating on him because I don't like the fact
Fuck
that he's
you.
so successful.
Fuck
He's
you.
a good actor. Then he's like this cool, conscious J. Cole type rapper that everybody thinks is so fucking. Fuck you, Donald Glover, with your fucking perfect, you Tom Brady life having perfect motherfucker.
I second that.
Fuck both of you. I have Sometimes I'm Childish tattooed on my chest because in homage to Donald Glover. Anyways, he was on SNL last night. So everybody out there listening or watching this, go check out some clips from Donald Glover. If you watch his...
First time in history that he, as Donald Glover, hosted and performed as Childish Gambino. So
That
he's a
he
host
did it.
and
Oh, so
performer.
just more
Drake-
fucking just greatness from Donald
Yeah.
Big Dick Glover. Okay.
Oh, no. So you guys gotta watch this. First of all,
Drake hasn't done
I
that?
bet his
Yeah,
dick
no.
is massive.
Drake did that, but this is the first time Donald has done it as both himself.
Oh, okay, so it's for
but
him.
yeah, for him. But he was great last night. Excuse me. One of the sketches, you guys remember from the Drake SNL episode how he made fun of himself when he was like, dun, 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 and he did like a rap parody of his own songs and shit. Well, Donald took it a step further because he's a musician, and he did called the Friendos, and him and Kenan Thompson and God damn it, what was the other dude who was on there? I can't remember the fucker's name.
The guy from Disjointed.
Yes. And the 3 of them played the Migos, and it was all about the friend zone and how they were in therapy for not getting along. And every time the 2 main ones were talking, and he's like, yeah, man, all you talk about is Lambos, and you don't ever pay attention to me and who I am. And Keenan's in the corner just like, Lambo. And he's like, what? The therapist is like, why don't you ever say anything? I did say stuff. I said Lambo. And it's so perfect because he goes back into like Amigo style rap too. So I was like, you guys hit the nail on the fucking head. And he was a writer for 30 Rock. So he's got ties at NBC forever. And his comedy, Derek Comedy, back in the day when he was at NYU, is very sketch driven. And if you look at some of those Derek Comedy stuff and look at the sketches on this episode of SNL, very similar but still hilarious.
See, I was watching Bro Rape back
Yes.
in like 2007, I
What's
think
it
it
called?
was. Donald Glover.
Was
I
Derek
first discovered him
Comedy.
in college.
Bro
Yeah,
Rape?
Derek Comedy. It was called Bro Rape, and it was
Bro
a
Rape?
play.
Yeah.
It was a play on How to Catch a Predator, but he was catching these like bro rapists. So it was these dudes who you gotta watch it. It was these dudes who like he would chat them up online, in like a chat room, and be like, "Come over and play." I think back in the day it was GameCube. It was like, "Come over and play some GameCube, man," and then we'll like, drink some Natty Lights and play some GameCube and chill. But then it got progressively like, he found one with like a big black dildo in his backpack, like
He's
who would
like,
come over and some like drugs or something. And then he found one guy who showed up with just a bag of big black dildos, just like full of.
They go progression, so they do
Yeah.
a scale of operations. So like he would come over as like the bro with like an Abercrombie and Fitch shirt on and like
Chad
a hat to the side, and he'd be
Donald
like,
Glover?
yeah, Donald
Yeah.
Glover, and he would come into like the dorm of his friend and be like, so we're gonna play GameCube, right? And he start unloading his backpack and he's like 6-pack gamer and then a black dildo, and then the guy's like, what's that for? And he goes, oh, yeah, nothing. You know, so
Nothing,
in the
man.
next,
We're just gonna chill out.
and it's like he's always trying to be the bro rape, and
Hilarious.
that's just one of the sketches. But they
He
have,
winds up raping him in the sketch.
yeah.
Yeah.
Their sketches are absolutely phenomenal. If you've never checked out Derek Comedy, please go. Also, I'm plugged for Donald Glover. He's Lando in the new Solo movie, which I saw the trailer for before the new Infinity War movie, and Solo looks fucking dope.
Yes, it does. I'm excited about that. I'm a Star
Really?
Wars hoe, and I'm a Han Solo is one of my idols as a child that I grew up with. Like, I do stuff in my life with the inspiration of Han Solo type approach.
I got a question. Are we? I like. It looks great to me too, right? But are we getting a little super saturated with Star Wars? Don't you think?
No, there can never
There
be
is no
Star
such
Wars.
thing.
No, that was
Also,
blasphemous.
Can
Yes.
I just say, okay, I just can't decide. I've only seen the trailer for Solo, of course, but I can't decide if this kid is really good at acting or really fucking bad. Like, go and watch the trailer, and I can't tell if he's like,
Is he a new face?
Is Millennium
Yeah.
Falcon?
Okay, well, that's the good thing about being a new face. There's a blank sheet. You know,
I
what I
know.
mean?
But-
There's nothing to judge off
Double-edged
of.
He
sword.
no, his job in this was not to create an original character. His job was to mirror Han Solo. So first of all, he had to be a believable look. So they got somebody that really could pull off the look.
Yep.
But as far as like his voice and acting chops, the only time will tell. But like his job is to be like, here's an original story, create an original character, be awesome as an actor. He's like, no, here's the framework you have to work within. You know, the backstory is already there. Like, the audience is going to be such critical judgment of this. You got to keep it to fucking canon. Even if it sacrifices a little bit on your acting performance, it's worth it for, like, the project in general. But, like, fucking Ron Howard took the reins of this, man. He wouldn't let that shit go, like, unchecked. Or at least he'll fix it in post. You know what I mean?
I'm just hoping that Hollywood isn't going to the well too often, and that they don't eventually ruin a really good thing. Because I just remember when I was growing up with Star Wars, I wasn't even really the biggest Star Wars fan, but just knowing about it, I just know that whenever Star Wars movies would drop, it'd be the biggest event. But man, this would be 4 straight years we've had a Star Wars film. You know, and I remember before then, it was like, yo,
Every decade.
Exactly. And not only that, they had to like release the old ones first before to get us hyped up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a full event. Like before a movie came out. Now this shit just like snuck up on me. I was like, oh shit, it's coming out next month. Like,
Well, they're definitely
I thought it was
capitalizing
coming out on Christmas.
on the heat of it. But I also think to them it is still kind of a new idea because it's kind of that in between phase. Because when the old Star Wars came out, Han Solo was an old guy to me. So I'm like, damn, what did he do to this young guy? How did he become How did he get the Millennium Falcon? How did he become the biggest asshole? Why does everybody want him dead? You know what I mean?
I totally get what they're doing, and I'm with it. I like how they have like the side like spin-off stories that doesn't have to do with the fucking like official trilogy, like with the real arc, what's going on. But at the same time, I just hope that they're not just coming up with so many different freaking stories that we're not even going to take the real ones. We're gonna be like, okay, this
when they do the Princess Leia prequel, we'll get nervous.
That's where I got with Avengers though. Honestly, I just got to where I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to like bring a notepad to the movies. You know, it's like
Avengers was all right.
All right, we cannot get into Avengers right now.
that's right, all
We cannot. We gotta save that, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have a whole fucking long discussion about Infinity War. So we'll let you know when that's queued up. We'll probably get into the MCU before that.
But in terms of, I know what you're saying, not in terms of the details of the film, but in terms of this, like, we're getting a lot of it. You know, like dude, every month there's a Marvel movie. Like, right now, like.
I think it's oversaturated a little bit.
And I don't know. And the thing is, I like it. I like these films. You know what I mean? But it's just like, fuck. I just hope that they're not, like I said, ruining a good thing. Where I'm not gonna like them anymore because, dude, they're coming out once a month. This month is Deadpool. Next month is Ant-Man. The month after that, it's something. I bet we haven't heard it yet. They're gonna tell us next
the
month.
Marvel porn. Finally.
There you go.
Finally.
That already exists.
It's called Extra Men. It's a gay porn.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.
Of course.
Well, before we wrap up here, I just wanted to. There's 2 new shows that are coming out right now. That one, they're already out, but everyone should check them out. And I want to see if you guys have heard or seen them. Brockmire on IFC with Hank Azaria, and then Barry on Showtime.
Barry
I
is
believe.
fantastic. Barry is out of control.
Oh my god, I've only seen 2 episodes, so I gotta go
Same
catch
here.
up.
I'm on episode 3.
But I think there's 4 or 5 out or something
I think
now.
there's like 6.
Well, I gotta catch up on DVR, but
Yeah, me
still
too.
amazing. Check him out. My boy, fuck, my mind's blanking. Who plays Barry? Fuck is his?
I don't even know. That
Oh,
guy's
Bill
name.
Hader.
Bill
Yeah,
Hader, that's who it is. Bill Hader is hilarious and amazing in it. His facial, the awkward moments in that show are so profoundly
You
hilarious.
know who I love? I love the bald-headed fucking like the gangster guy. Like,
Yeah.
he's hilarious. The guy who's like the main guy. But he's like, all right, so we're gonna kill you now.
Dude.
Yeah.
All right, maybe
the-
not. Maybe not.
Check
We'll find
guy.
out later. You know, like, that dude is
And what's
so-
his name? Hank. His name's like.
I don't know his
something
name.
Hank.
I don't know his name at all.
Yeah.
But he's fucking hilarious.
How about Henry fucking Winkler?
Oh yeah, he's really good.
Call back to Henry.
Oh dude, all this
yeah.
time I've been seeing like those billboards on the benches in the city. I was like, yo, has it gone this way for Henry Winkler? He's giving up free like acting classes. Like this was. I really thought that was legit, and then I seen Barry, and I was like, oh, that's for this shit.
For those of you who aren't aware, Barry is a TV show where Bill Hader stars as a assassin, a professional assassin, an ex-military guy who gets serendipitously develops into a love for acting and doing acting classes, and his acting coach is Henry Winkler. So it's basically about his life trying to juggle being an assassin and being an actor as well at the
It's
same
my
time.
autobiography, really.
Yeah,
Right?
but Brock, what?
No, I would say I'm a huge fan of Dexter. I love that show. That was one of my favorite shows of all time. It's still one of them, and this kind of takes a lot of like the same of parallels to it. Except this is in a way, if you think about it. Even though he's an assassin killing dudes, this is actually like a less darker version of Dexter, because Dexter was just killing people for fucking just I have to. Whereas this is more like I'm putting down people like in a more methodical way.
And he wants to quit. Like his motivation is like he wants to be an actor full time, but he got like roped into it. Obviously it's for storytelling, which is a good story.
Whereas Dexter can't quit. He won't quit. He won't quit.
Right.
Like, but he'll do the best he can.
But if you guys are fans of Hank Azaria, you got to go watch Brockmire on IFC channel, because Hank Azaria plays a baseball announcer. And one of those old classic, like 70s style breaks are like, oh, rocking in the hit to outfield, and he's got 2 men on and bases loaded. And last night, my slut of a wife cheated on me. So like the whole premise is he has this meltdown. He's a professional MLB broadcaster, and he walks into his wife cheating on him, and he goes and locks himself in the sound booth while he's calling a game with a bottle of whiskey, and he goes off, but he does it seamlessly. So he'll call the game, and he'll be like, and Terry, that motherfucker is, just ruining my life, and foul ball down the line side, and we're back at 2-1 count or something like that. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So it's absolutely hilarious. Episode 2 just came out in season 2, so check it out.
That's awesome.
How much money does Hank Azaria have?
A billion.
Enough. Like you got to think syndication from Simpsons alone.
Yeah.
Billions?
Oh, dude, and he's probably
No.
he's got to be making $600,000 an episode by now, at least.
But
on
look
The
at that
Simpsons.
man's body of fucking work.
Oh,
Not just
yeah.
The Simpsons,
'Cause
like
he does like
everything.
most of the
Birdcage.
characters, right? He does
I
most
think he
of the
does like
characters.
I think he does like 20 characters.
Yeah, he does a bunch.
Remember
like,
him in Birdcage?
yeah, Birdcage. God, he's been just.
He was good in Ray Donovan. He plays a good asshole. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Shout out Hank, man. You the man.
And it's
but I-
interesting
Shit.
because he's like always the bridesmaid and never the bride.
Yeah. He's a character actor. He's a character actor.
Well, he is definitely the bride in Brockmire. But yeah, it's really, really good show.
I wanted to check out The Last OG.
Oh yeah,
Bruh.
shout out Tracy Morgan, our friend.
I would just want to Tracy Morgan and Tiffany Haddish being on a
And Tiff.
main like a network television show. That's awesome.
Yeah.
right?
We,
That's fucking- and it's showing about like Brooklyn, you
Yeah.
know, on network on TBS. I mean, who would have ever thought?
you know what? See, that's the thing. I watch a lot of NBA and TNT. You know what I mean? I always see like these TV shows, and I'm like, I can't take them seriously sometimes, because often when they show me the commercials, they just show me the same trailer all season long, rather than on next episode. They never do any of that, so it doesn't really
Not
feel like an
anymore.
authentic show, But One show that they always showed me commercials for was The Detour, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I watched like
It's supposed to be really good, right?
I was stuck watching like a marathon when I was like editing something one weekend, and dude, that show was so funny. Like I can't believe it's like stuck like in TBS like that. Like
Jason, whatever from The Daily Show. The guy from The Daily Show, Jason, I can't remember his name, and his wife.
And like it's the most
Samantha
darkest
Bee?
family comedy ever.
No?
Like I remember one scene, and he introduces his son to like the neighbor's like daughter, and they look at each other in the eyes, and it's like. Dun, 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 dun. And you see them like going out on dates, you know what I mean? They're getting married, and all of a sudden now they're fighting in the kitchen. Now he has a wife beater on, he's like beating her up, and now they're fighting in the courthouse, and like they have a kid. The kid is a horrible kid, and he's fucking going to drug rehab, and he's like, "Get the fuck out of here, child!" Kick it to the curb, and then they bring it right back, and he's just like, you know what I mean? It got so dark. It's called The Detour.
That's nice. That's hilarious.
Well,
and the kid is the same age, dude. His entire like fucking like he's like 12 with a wife beater and like smacking the.
Oh my god! Now that is hilarious.
That's awesome. I gotta check that out.
Well, I think we should give some shout outs here to some of our friends from the show. So first and foremost, we gotta give a shout out to 2020 High Effect. Everybody, if you're in California, go pick yourself up some pre-rolls. They are the dopest flower infused with oil rolled in keef, and you check them out.
Don't mind if I do.
You're gonna, they'll put you in on another level. It's pretty dope. Another friend of the show we gotta check out. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, these are not paid sponsorships. We wouldn't. We just refer products and people and services and places that we love to you guys. But Nuwaza Clothing. Check out Nuwaza. It's a jiu-jitsu clothing brand, but they got great swag t-shirts. Also, if you're in jiu-jitsu and MMA world, they got rash guards, skis, all the stuff. And coming up, we got Fight Dub going to be released coming up soon. We'll give you the updates on that. We got Cluster Fest coming up. We're going to be heading up to San Francisco for that. Speaking of Tiffany Haddish, it's friends of Zoe and us, so we're setting up maybe a little one-on or group interview show live from the festival with her and some other folks. So good news of things to come. Also, Chandara, do you want to plug anything? Or do you want to keep
we have a female podcast coming up. It's pretty fucking nasty. It's called Badass Ladies of Today.
Boo, boo, boo.
Network, Skitbags
Ballot.
Network.
Yeah, so
and come follow us. BLTB show. It also stands for bacon, lettuce, tomatoes, and bread.
Bacon, lettuce, and tomatoes and
Bitches. That too.
Also, like we said earlier, go do yourself a motherfucking favor and go on Netflix. I know you got Netflix. If not, you got somebody's password, and go check out the motherfucking Clapper movie with our boy and Mickey Goose Jr. and all of our friends. Also, check out Scramble, available now, and LA Real. Shout out to Brett Newton and all of them. We love you guys. Anything you want to start? You want to start close out? Nick, let's go around, and if you guys want, do your social media. Plug everything you want, and we'll tag out.
Yeah, my social media is at Young1Zeke, Young #1 and ZEKE is my Instagram. I don't really fuck with anything else, so that's it.
Yeah, I'm at James White Scott on Twitter, and I just started an Instagram up. I'm trying to get it going. I'm Jimmy Deloy on Instagram. Jimmy Deloy.
Mr. C the Enforcer, Poppy Carlo on Instagram, Mr. C Force on Twitter. Check out gtcomedyjam.com, and also check out the Ding Dong Show at the Comedy Store on Mondays. And better make sure you watch this motherfucking shit all the time too.
Shout out to the Comedy Store. I just went to Sam Tripoli's show about a week ago at Comedy Chaos. If you guys are in LA, you gotta check out this fucking show. It's once a week. It was, I saw Tom Segura, Whitney Cummings, Burt Kreischer, Brian Callen, and a special, Chris D'Elia, and a special pop-in from the one, the only, the great Ron motherfucking White came through. So you really want to throw the epicenter of all things comedy in town. You best be checking yourself at the Comedy Store.
And shout out to my friend Tom Rhodes at the Comedy Store, and listen to his podcast.
Word. What up?
Oh yeah. R.I.P. to Mitzi.
Oh, yes. R.I.P. Mitzi. Mitzi Shore. Goddamn legend.
Yeah, follow me at BLTB Show. Hopefully, we can be at the Comedy Store soon, making you guys laugh off your pants.
Word.
Yeah, you know what it is. Follow me on Instagram, The Life of Neil the Great. That's how it spells. I'm one of those Neils, Neil, not the fake ones with the Neal.
It's not even a real name.
It's not. Right? All right.
And you can find me always Sailor_Dev. But more importantly, you can follow the show on Twitter at Skitbags Radio. And if you want to email the show, give us a shout out, show some love, show some hate, send us some nudes. It is skitbagsradio@gmail.com. And I think that's a wrap, everybody. Thank you guys. Skitbags Crew in the bag, number 2. And
Let's go smoke a joint or two.
and we're out.
Skitbags Radio.